Hey guys, so today I wanted to give you some thoracic mobility that works towards a full bridge. Take it one step at a time, make sure you've warmed up your body. The previous videos of mobility work will be a great warm up for this, and then see how it feels. And this is a little bit of dynamic work with thoracic mobility strength, glute strength, to help you to become a little stronger in your thoracic and shoulder and your glute area without exactly moving into a wheel movement per se. So I hope you enjoy it. Now, I've got a list here written down, and I would say, looking at my list, when you start out, maybe do 5 of each one on each side. But if 3 is more comforting for you, then I would try 3. So I've got around 5 or so exercises that I will go through, and if they are difficult for you at any point, then please, let me know. I will suggest maybe some alternatives, and also I will be able to also recommend starting with the beginner exercises. Like the first exercise I'm about to show you, I'm just looking through my list that I go through as I am talking to you to make sure I'm prepared. I always write a list. So I'm going to start with tabletop arm turns, or I would say they will be a reverse tabletop arm turn. So what you're going to be is you're going to be in a position here, and from here you're going to lift up in this position, and this movement here you're going to have to bring your arm around. So you're going from one shoulder to the other shoulder. Now, what we need to do to make it more dynamic is we're going to come up and around here, and from this movement we need to move our weight into our legs here. And when the weight is in the legs, we can push into the switch. You can see this switch. Okay, you can go faster and slower. Arm is straight up above the shoulder, glutes are pushing through. Okay, so to start this off as a more beginner, because it is quite a strong move. Again, I started here on the ground, I lifted up, and I went and aligned my shoulders. And then from there, I bring it down, and then I push back up, right? Down, and push back up. Now if I'm feeling a bit stronger, I push my weight forward, arms are in a line, and I swap. And I swap. And I swap. And if I'm feeling a little stronger, I can go faster and a little higher. So you've got the shoulder rotation in the core, and you've got your legs. So the more you move into the faster rotation, you're going to push into those legs, push into those hips, and lift those hips up. But you can start back again at the tabletop rotation, here and here, straight line, and then learn to push forward one step at a time. So this is the first exercise, do around 5 on each side. Now the second one is coming to a tabletop, and you're in this position here, and from here you're going to rotate and push up. So you can just see my feet for a minute, back into tabletop, knees are not on the ground, rotate and push up. So again, you're starting in your tabletop. Now you can have your knees down if you prefer, tuck your feet if you're strong enough, knees up. Going to rotate and slide that foot round and lift up and come back. Rotate, arms over each other, hands to hand alignment, like it's a tightrope. A nice strong snap, and hips push up. So nice and strong, and hips must come up. Okay, so this is exercise 2. So you can hear how it's building strength, but also building endurance and stability in the shoulders, rotating through the torso, and building that mobility that we need to go into back bends as well, but also mobility in our shoulders to make our shoulders healthier. Again, take the level that you need, okay? This is a little bit more advanced practice, but there are beginner levels, but these beginner levels can also still be too advanced for some people and may need to work up to it simply by holding a tabletop for a while and getting used to that doing some marches. And then from there, learning to keep the hips up and moving from one hand to the other before rotating. Again, the same thing here. You may need to start on your knees and then circle your leg around, use your hand for support, and then push, 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 before you come to the floating and up, okay? So, don't be disheartened, start with where you are. Next is a similar position to the tabletop, but this time our legs are going to extend. So all of it is the same, except for this time, I'm going to rotate round, extend this leg and push up. Then coming back, rotate round, extend, push up. So this is like a tabletop to a star or wild thing, right? So really getting a bit deeper into the mobility and the hip flexors, okay, as you do it. And you have to move your legs a little bit, so this leg has to move out a bit, and this leg too, to push up. Otherwise, you will be dumping into your lower back if you just go like this. You need to extend the leg out a bit to come up. Still using your hips as you do it. So this is number 3. And as you build on these, you may find that, say, number 2 is easier, so you'll start with that instead. Listen to your body and what you need. Now from there, we are going to go into a movement that I find is maybe a little bit challenging in it's a hand-foot movement whereby you are springing sideways. So I find this one coordination-wise a lot of fun, but also a little challenging for me because I'm not naturally the most coordinated. So I'm going to bring my hands down, I'm going to jump and kick. I'm going to bring my hands down and you're going to push, push and kick. Okay, so your hands, knees, and you're pushing. So it's a little spring movement, and you can change the legs. So you can see how I might do this first, and then as I get a little bit more confident, I can still walk it, or I can bring it down and kick up. So what you're actually doing as you get into it is you're using this leg, the basis is using this leg to kick this leg out. So you're doing this movement, but you're doing it in a coordinated effort to jump. So, see that? So you're doing it in a, firstly like you're feeling this movement out, and then as you get better at it, you're jumping like this, and then as you're getting better, you're moving the whole body to jump over. So it's kind of starting with how you feel. So at first you might just want to push, push, push like this. Okay, and do like this. So there's very little coordination. Or you might want to go step, kick, step, kick, step, kick. And then the same, you're going to go step, kick, step, kick. And then as you feel more coordinated, you then bring the whole movement in, where you're bringing the jumping in a little bit higher, and a little bit higher, and then eventually you're kneeing it and then kicking out. So you're pushing your knee, jump, flip. So you're pushing the knee here and transferring. You're pushing the center knee, so this center knee, and you've got to transfer out. So you have to find your uncoordinated motion to get you coordinated. So again, I'm going to push this knee to jump and push up. So pushing this center knee as my hands come across and my far arm comes onto the knee, and I'm going to push to flick. Okay, so again, pushing the center knee and then flick. Center knee and flick. But at first what I was doing was creating movement where I'm pushing this knee, push and kick. So I'm doing less movement. So you can see you can build onto that. So I want you to play with being uncoordinated to get coordinated. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it helps you to feel out the movement. And it helps you to feel out you and where your movement patterns are. So this one is a light, fun one. You may need knee pads for it, but it will definitely benefit you a lot to bring pattern into your body. Now the last one, the Valdez turn, is quite deep. And so please listen to your body. This one may not be for everybody, unless you have a wheel practice in. It may feel a little bit hurt. There is no dumping your lower back. And again, it's more about mobility than flexibility. So your hand is going to come down. So my hand is going to come down and turn inwards. And then this arm, my legs are near my hips, so I'll turn around and show you the other direction. It's going to come up, and I'm going to bring that hand here. I'm going to make sure that I rotate the other arm and come down. So again, hand comes in as much as is comfortable for your line, and then you're going to lift up. And I'm going to bring the other arm down, make sure I push back over here a little bit and come down, keeping my hips strong. So from the side, and legs are close, bringing arms up, pushing my hand into the ground, lifting on up here, pushing a little bit forward, and then weight is still in the legs mostly, and down. So up and down. So the feet stay the same here, about hip width apart. Hand comes back. Legs can be where you need them to be. Pushing up. Hips, you can see them popping up. Pushing, 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 pushing here and down. So glutes are really working. Not too much heaviness on the hands itself. It's more of a rotation point for the shoulders. So these are your mobility skills to try. Have fun with them, get uncoordinated to be coordinated. Play around, it's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be about you discovering your sequencing, your body, the patterning, and starting to build mobility. Remember, a lot of weight does go into the legs because we're working on the transitions and quick fixes, not quick transitions and quick mobilities eventually into our shoulders. So for a Valdez, for example, it becomes a much quicker movement when you've got the mobility and you've got the function, right? And you understand the weight is in the feet. But at first, we're starting slow, getting awareness, and then we're bringing the fluidity and momentum in. And this is what acrobatic people do. And so we're building a nice little foundation so we can move more through our shoulders without too much pressure, and also our whole body utilizing it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon for another tutorial. Don't forget to support all these free trainings. It means the world. Or support someone you love for them showing up and giving so much of their time. It's a wonderful gift to have this YouTube world of everything we could possibly wish to learn these days, with people's kind hearts sharing their wisdom and knowledge. Thanks for joining me on all the socials that you are, and remember, you are awesome becoming more awesome. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be anywhere but where you are now. There is no fail. There is just you doing your best. Have a great day. Namaste.